let's do this. I think I'm going to kill you guys with all my work talk come this October, and that's only like 20 days away. 22 to be exact. So I'm going to, because I'm going to definitely talk about each one of the, because basically it's going to be on my mind as I draw them. I'm still kind of excited. I'm excited to be doing a project again. I miss it. Somebody asked me, and they were talking about doing commissions and everything like that. And one of the main reasons why I don't do commissions is because I'm still purposefully leaving mistakes in. Still I'm kind of doing things on purpose. It's my own stuff. It's the way I stream is a little bit raw, so I want to get a little bit of rawness in there. I want to do a little bit of the polish, the flair that I'm used to doing, and I just think that it's kind of a little wacky, but yeah, we'll be right back. So, it's not like anything personal. I actually was, because I didn't know any better. Because I didn't know any better, I was about to do commissions. And I saw how that whole thing rolled out. It's not my first piece digital, not my first digital art. But it was definitely my first project. Somebody commissioned somebody else, talked about it. The person basically failed them. It was a week until Halloween, which is the reason why I tend to do drawn kind of a dare the person wanted foie gras from the TV show Chowder. Them drawn as foie gras. And I just did that. It came out pretty decent. I was still doing at the time, hand drawing, basically doodles. Scanning them in. Yeah. But that was that first piece. I was going to say my first piece was supposed to be an art piece, but my first piece was a commission. But my first piece was kind of like I didn't even know if I could do it. The VTuber was just basically like off the cuff. And sadly, this is one of the VTubers that I literally have like lost touch with. I adored, and I can thank them for the reason why I draw. But I was already thinking about doing some artwork anyway because, I was with another group of people. And they were talking about being YouTubers and having YouTuber models and stuff like that. And I looked at how much that fucking shit cost, and it's like $10,000. And yeah, there was like a... I can't think of the name of it. I can't think of the name of the... I'm sorry, I'd give you guys a shout out, but I can't think of what you are. But like an already like kind of pre-established, very human thing that either somebody can do for you or you can do for yourself and create it. Somebody actually created me a model from there. And didn't come out so great, but I never even learned how to use it. I switched immediately to Live 2D. And without even like missing a beat. And I was just going to learn how to do everything. They have a Spider-Man meme about VTubers, which I thought was kind of funny, and I actually almost posted it on Twitter. Where he was like going, how expensive is it to be, he's Peter Parker, he's like, how expensive is it to be a VTuber? And they're like going, well, you're going to need this, like a model and this and everything like that. And, and like, he was like, how much that could cost me? It was like, $20,000. And, or, he was like, "No." So yeah, I thought I was going to be doing commissions. Um, anyway, I thought that that's how artists do it online. I didn't know that I could just create whatever I wanted to create, do whatever I wanted to do. Like turning people into cues. Originally, I was just practicing. Um, and originally, it was the people that I chose were the people that the first one that I ever created was a person who I thought I was going to be doing a lot of collabs with. I don't think I never did one collab with them. But I wanted to. And I don't know whether it was me or them. Doesn't matter. We're no longer in touch. But yeah. So what I was going to do. You ready for this? Yeah. What I was going to do was I was going to make cues dressed like the person I was collabing with, and we were going to do that. And it like I said, that spiraled way out of control. That was a project that I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It took me so long to even make one, but I was getting better. I was definitely getting better at digital art. During all that time, I got away from drawing first. That's what I used to do, is draw the picture first, and then put it back online. And you could, the few times that I traced, I'm not a very good tracer. I suck at it. It literally is like, I don't practice it, so it's probably why I'm so horrible at it. But man, I have trouble keeping there's a reason why when I got rid of the block, the pencil marks from QB, why it just looks so starkly different. It's because I couldn't even keep it the same. I was like, oh, I should have changed this. Oh, yeah, that doesn't really work. Oh, let's try this. Oh, yeah. To be honest, it definitely needed to be updated because it was just a quick doodle. I must have drawn that in maybe 10 seconds at most. At absolute most. it's definitely been my privilege. And queuing, turning people into queues. The truth is that everybody's like, when somebody was like going, why don't you just call them beans? Little Mexican little jumping beans. And yes, they are beans. But the problem is that when I started the project, I wasn't QB. So everybody was Qs. There was a point where, maybe one of these days I'll put it to a poll, but there was a point where I was still calling them Qs, and people were like going, why don't you just call them Bs? And it's just like, hey, I don't know. It's like kind of like rebranding almost. Even though I rebranded as a bean, so talking about branding, art. So I think it would have been really interesting if the person who gave me the week, and I'm to be fair, it's the reason why it hasn't affected our friendship. But I'm gonna be realistic with you. I took on the challenge to get a Halloween thing done in a week's time, not having any digital digital art experience. Basically 30 years of practical art. When I created it for them, it is because it's the first project, it is the one project that doesn't include me. They didn't even think that, oh, you know what? Why don't you throw yourself in there? I didn't have the heart to tell them that. But I was never really part of it, so I wasn't. The truth is, and I'm gonna be really honest with you, even though they were the first group that invited me in, that welcomed me, and we did a lot of things together, and we are very close friends and everything like that, I am not part of their group. There are definitely community. I'm not really part of their community. There are definitely communities that I am not a bigwig, but I can go in and I feel welcomed. I feel included. I can name 3 right off the top of my head. And of course, my own. The Sparks. Your spark of imagination. Obviously, I feel very connected to that. It's hard to talk about the difficult things, but yeah, and to solidify that, the fact that they didn't even want me to draw my own picture when I said I could do it, and they gave me the whole freaking gist. No fucking reference pictures, no freaking I literally was pulling fucking teeth to get the information out of them, and I only had 7 days to do it. So I came up with something. And it's not my best work. Not near this. It's actually where it started, where I would pick my favorite, because I would draw a bunch of things. I drew 1,000 slimes, and I have one favorite. I drew 300 Potteroos. I have one favorite, and I have a favorite from every year that I was drawing it. You know which one's my favorite, obviously. It's on merch. Same with the cues. And the orcs are going to be no different. One's just going to stand out, and it's just going to be my favorite. Some are just not going to work. Risk is usually is a big thing. And it's just my connection. But yeah. So I did this piece. Back to the story. Bad storytelling. Dude, this is bad storytelling. You can't freaking tell stories and freaking have these integral breaks that take away from the story. They're not even backstories. They're not even flashbacks. Right. Back to the story. So yeah, I did this piece. I'm not gonna get into it, but I did it within the week. I had 1 day left, so I did it in 6 days. He said he liked it, and that's where it ended. Now this is the same person that held a contest. I won the contest. I was supposed to get a couple posters and never delivered my posters. This is the reason why I tried to tell you that I love him like a brother, but when I get treated like that, when I get treated like that, it's not that I don't do anything. I don't. It's not like I lash out. not like we become less friends. But I just kind of like it. It is one of those things that, like, you know, even if I was feeling like I belong, that action, and I couldn't even put it into words at the time, but that action that he did, not having me draw my own self, not paying me what he was paying the, you know, I think he went through Fiverr, not paying them, and, you know, the lack of, you know, keeping your promise. It just feels like I'm not as important enough to be a part of whatever is going on. Now, I've always, whether, obviously, I can't cue myself, or I can't put myself in a Q costume, can't cosplay as myself. Those are the two things that I haven't been able to do myself, but I might just do it. I might, you know, take the pencil drawing and make like a mask. Yeah, putting you in the overstuffed cube. Or just having with a really big head. I don't know what I would do. But back to the story. See, I gotta keep me focused. Yeah, I wouldn't say. I think it affected our friendships. I think it affected the way I reacted to everybody. And it wasn't, you know, the whole idea of this was to say that, you know, why I'm not taking commissions. It didn't stop me from looking at that, but it definitely put a damper on that. It definitely was like the first thread pulled. I've had before I stopped taking commissions, I had probably probably a dozen, probably 12. I'd have to really go back and look, but it's in the double digits. You know, barely, but I definitely know it's in the double digits. But I had a lot of people asking to do commissions for me. And I had one person actually accuse me, they hadn't even paid me yet, accused me of trying to steal and rip them off. Not a single person paid me. And that's the reason why I don't do commissions. It's not art I want to do drawing. It's basically for a client. I'm drawing it, you know, kind of still in my style, but not. It's not stuff that I want to be drawing. It's not how I want to be drawing. It's not the color palettes I want to be using. It's none of that shit. I also have to correct all mistakes. Yeah. Fuck that. If you really love my art that much, you really want to give me money, buy something on my merch page. And if you don't see something that you like on my merch page, ask me. I can make it for you. It's that simple. If you want your Q being on a t-shirt or anything like that, all you gotta do is ask. All you have to do is ask. There are ways to send me money. I don't like any of them. Even the merch page, I'm making about maybe about 10%, 15%. I halved all the prices, so I think I was making a little bit more, like 20. But yeah, I'm making probably 10 to 15%. So 90% of what you put in goes into the product. So is it a money making thing? Hells to the no. But I certainly enjoy it. I love seeing my art. But as far as commissions, I'm not going to do commissions. Like I said, like there's ways. If you just want to give me money, there are ways to give me money. I mean, I have PayPal, I have Ko-fi, I have, you know, you can go my throne. There are definitely ways. There are ways to give me money. But as far as like giving me money for a particular work or commissioning you for something, nope. And it's kind of funny because with the documakras, I was like all in. I was just like going like crazy. I could have finished them. I could have. There's definitely a bit of that going on, of like a coulda, woulda, shoulda. Um, but yeah, I could have finished them, and I'm like, I don't have to. That's the brilliant thing about it is I don't have any deadlines. If I set a deadline, it's like with the orcs coming this October. Um, October. Coming this October. Uh, it's like doing that. Uh, that deadline's mine. If I fail the deadline, like it's not. I don't fail anything. Yeah. And I've been procrastinating them a lot. But I now have two freaking documakras that I've just kind of like, kind of dropped the ball on. One, it's the hair. Actually, both of them. Two of them that I've basically dropped the ball on. It's their hair. The third one, I just kind of like I've kind of like gotta um, just a little burnt out from it. And then I have a fourth one that I'm going to be making, and I'm just kind of like, more. But it's an oni, so I want to do the oni. Um, but I love doing the documakras, but it just like I'm kind of like they're a lot. I'm gonna go in. Cool beans comments below, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great time. I can see a little winky winky. Um, and yeah, I hope you're happy. I hope you're doing well. I would love to hear good news. So if you want to give me good news like this, and if there's bad news, give me the bad news too. I can take it, but I like good news. But it doesn't have to be good news. Um, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. Take care of yourself, and we will do this again tomorrow. Yay! Hopefully. All right. Talk to you soon.